Lightning tore through the midnight sky, fracturing the darkness like shattered glass. Elena stumbled back, her breath ragged and uneven, a thin trail of blood staining her lips. Her pulse hammered in her ears as the Alpha King emerged from the shadows, towering and imposing, his eyes glowing fierce gold like molten fire. "You are mine," he growled, voice heavy with rage and ownership. Elena's eyes flared with defiance despite the icy grip of fear. "You killed them. My family," she spat, trembling. The wind carried the scent of cedarwood and iron, marking his presence. Wolves circled silently, ghostly sentinels to her fate. The king stepped closer, claws gleaming in the stormlight. "You were marked before birth, chosen by the moon herself," he whispered, a cruel promise. Pain exploded as his claws grazed her neck, searing into flesh. A crescent-shaped mark glowed bright crimson, burning a new reality onto her skin. Elena's world shattered as thunder echoed through the trees. The storm faded into a haunting silence, yet the damage lingered deep. Elena lay motionless on the cold forest floor, eyes locked on the pale dawn above. The pain throbbed beneath her skin like a living thing, but numbness clung tighter. The mark had changed her, awakening something wild and uncontrollable within. Her breath fogged the chill morning air as cautious footsteps approached. "You shouldn't have run," a deep voice rumbled. The Alpha King, standing over her like a shadow carved from night. His rain-drenched form glistened, powerful and unyielding. Elena turned her head slowly, defiance burning despite the agony. "You think this means you own me?" she whispered fiercely. The king crouched beside her, fingers brushing her tangled hair. "No," he said softly. "You belong to yourself. But your power belongs to me." Elena's mind raced as the sun rose, casting pale light on a world forever altered. The forest around her whispered secrets, leaves rustling with unseen life. Memories of her lost family flooded back, smiles, laughter, the violent end. She clenched her fists, the mark on her neck burning hotter, a silent reminder of a destiny forced upon her. The Alpha King's words echoed, "You are marked. The moon chose you." But what choice did she really have? Was she a prisoner to fate or something more? Her eyes narrowed with resolve. The wolves were watching, waiting. She would face whatever darkness lay ahead, but on her own terms. Nightfall brought no peace. Elena moved silently through the shadows, every crack of twig sending jolts through her body. The forest was alive with unseen eyes and whispered threats. She thought of the Alpha King's claim, "You belong to yourself." Yet every step felt like chains tightening. Her mark pulsed with unfamiliar energy, strange and powerful. Somewhere deep inside, a primal hunger stirred. She shivered in the cold night air, torn between fear and fierce independence. Somewhere out there, the pack was gathering. Her fate was no longer hers alone. Dawn crept again, and Elena stood at the forest's edge, heart pounding with a new strength. The pack awaited, their silence a challenge. Her body ached, her mind screamed, but her spirit refused to break. She touched the burning crescent on her neck, feeling a surge of power unlike anything she had known. "I am not yours," she vowed silently to the shadows and stars. "I am my own." The Alpha King's promise lingered in the air, but so did her rebellion. The path ahead was dark and uncertain, but Elena would walk it, marked by fate, but guided by will. The forest hummed with tension as Elena took her first steps deeper into the pack's domain. Her limbs trembled, but her gaze was steady, burning with a mix of fear and determination. Every rustle in the underbrush felt like a whispered warning. The Alpha King's presence loomed in her mind, his claims still raw against her skin and soul. She could feel the primal energy coursing through her veins, a power she barely understood yet desperately needed to control. "You're stronger than you know," the king's voice echoed in her memories, "but strength without control is chaos." The pack awaited her judgment, their eyes unblinking, waiting for her next move. Elena clenched her fists, willing herself to be more than a marked victim. She was a force reborn, ready or not. Night deepened, and the pack's leader approached, his eyes reflecting fierce loyalty and unyielding command. The Alpha King stood before Elena, his stature commanding respect and fear alike. "Your mark binds you to us," he said softly, "but it also sets you apart." Elena's heart pounded in defiance. "I'm not yours to command," she replied, voice steady though cold. The king's gaze softened, betraying an unspoken understanding. "This bond is both cage and key. You'll learn to wield it, or it will consume you." Wolves encircled them, silent sentinels to the fragile truce forming in the storm's aftermath. Elena's eyes flickered to the glowing mark, now a blazing reminder of her divided fate. Days blurred into nights, as Elena trained beneath the watchful eyes of the pack. Her body ached with exhaustion, muscles trembling from relentless drills. Yet with each passing moment, her control sharpened, howling with the wind, sensing the earth's pulse beneath her feet. The Alpha King observed silently, a shadow of approval in his gaze. "The moon's chosen must balance ferocity with grace," he intoned one evening, voice low and unwavering. Elena nodded, feeling the weight of her destiny settle around her like a cloak. The mark pulsed faintly, syncing with her heartbeat. She was becoming more than prey or pawn, she was becoming the Alpha's equal, one step at a time. Elena's mind wrestled with the shadows of her past as she stood at the edge of the forest. Memories of betrayal and loss clashed with newfound power and purpose. The mark on her neck burned with urgency, reminding her that every choice carried a cost. "Why me?" she whispered into the wind, searching for answers in the rustling leaves. The Alpha King's voice broke through the silence. "Because you are the key to the pack's survival." The words settled heavy on her shoulders, a burden she refused yet couldn't escape. Her eyes hardened, determination crystallizing like ice. Whatever lay ahead, she would face it, marked by fate but armed with fierce will. The pack gathered beneath the full moon's silver glow, a ritual older than time itself. Elena stood among them, her mark blazing bright, a beacon in the night. The Alpha King approached, his eyes locking with hers in silent challenge and promise. "Tonight, you prove yourself," he declared, voice resonant with ancient power. Elena's heart thundered, fear and resolve intertwined. She stepped forward, muscles coiled like a spring ready to unleash. The wolves howled in unison, a chorus of wild strength and unity. Elena inhaled sharply, embracing her fate. No longer the hunted, no longer afraid, she was the marked Alpha, rising from the ashes of betrayal to claim her place. Beneath a bruised twilight sky, Elena's resolve hardened as shadows lengthened across the forest floor. The pack's whispers grew louder, swirling like a tempest around her heart. She felt the sting of betrayal still raw, old wounds festering beneath newfound strength. The Alpha King's promise was a double-edged blade, trust and danger intertwined. "The pack tests loyalty as a wolf tests the hunt," Elena mused silently, muscles taut, senses sharp-dyed. She could no longer deny the pull between fear and desire, between defiance and submission. The night deepened, carrying secrets in its breath. Her mark burned hotter, a beacon and a brand. Tonight, nothing would remain hidden. The Alpha King approached silently, his gaze heavy with unspoken truths. "Betrayal festers like poison," he said quietly, voice a gravelly whisper beneath rustling leaves. Elena met his eyes, searching for answers in their golden depths. "Who can I trust?" she asked, vulnerability slipping beneath her fierce exterior. The king's expression softened, but the edge of warning remained. Trust is earned with blood and sacrifice. Even among family, shadows linger. Elena swallowed hard, feeling the weight of her fractured past mingling with uncertain alliances. The pack's howls echoed, a chorus of wild loyalty and danger intertwined. Elena's nights grew restless as memories clawed at her mind. Faces of friends turned foes, whispered lies that shattered trust. The pack's ancient laws weighed heavily on her shoulders, demanding sacrifices she wasn't sure she was ready to make. "You must choose," the Alpha King intoned, voice like steel wrapped in velvet. "The path of the marked is never easy." Elena clenched her fists, fighting the rising tide of doubt. Was she becoming what they feared? Or was there a flicker of hope yet hidden beneath the darkness? The moon rose high, casting cold light on a soul torn between past pain and future power. A sudden howl shattered the fragile calm, signaling a challenge within the pack. Elena's heart slammed against her ribs as adrenaline surged. The pack gathered swiftly, eyes sharp and teeth bared. The Alpha King's voice rang out, commanding and resolute. "This is the trial of loyalty. Your fate will be forged here." Elena stepped forward, every muscle coiled, every nerve aflame. The weight of the mark burned against her skin, a reminder of power and peril intertwined. She faced the pack's fiercest warriors, knowing this moment could make or break her claim. The night held its breath. The trial unfolded in brutal silence, claws scraping earth, teeth flashing, breath ragged. Elena moved with a newfound grace, weaving between shadows and foes, strength tempered by sharp instinct. Each clash burned away doubt, forging her into the leader she was destined to be. The Alpha King watched, pride flickering in his fierce eyes. As the last challenge fell silent, Elena stood, panting but unbroken, her mark glowing fiercely. "You have earned your place," he declared, voice low but certain. Elena's heart surged, a mix of victory and vulnerability. The path ahead was uncertain, but tonight she had claimed her power. Dawn broke with an eerie stillness over the pack's territory, the air thick with unspoken truths. Elena awoke, the weight of a secret pressing on her chest like a stone. The Alpha King's earlier words echoed in her mind, twisting with doubt and suspicion. A mother she had never known, a family hidden in shadow. Was the past she mourned a lie? Her fingers traced the burning crescent on her neck, a symbol of power and curse intertwined. Every step she took now felt heavier, burdened by revelations that shattered trust and reshaped destiny. The forest around her seemed to whisper warnings, and Elena's heart tightened with the fear that nothing was as it seemed. Elena's steps carried her deeper into the heart of the pack's sacred grounds, where old legends breathed in every stone and leaf. The truth was a shattered mirror, reflecting faces she had never met, but inexplicably recognized. "Why hide this from me?" she demanded, voice sharp yet fragile. The Alpha King met her gaze, his expression unreadable. "Some truths protect as much as they bind. Your mother's fate was a sacrifice to save us all." The forest seemed to hold its breath as Elena wrestled with the weight of lineage and loss. Her mark pulsed fiercely, a heartbeat syncing with the ancient magic that coursed through the land. Could she accept a past cloaked in betrayal to forge a future of strength? A revelation shattered the fragile peace like thunder breaking a glass dome. Elena's breath caught as the Alpha King revealed a secret too heavy to carry alone. "You were never just marked by the moon," he said, voice low and grave, "but chosen to unite a fractured pack." Her mind raced, heart pounding in shock and awe. The bond she feared was a bridge between worlds, old wounds, and new beginnings. Yet the shadow of betrayal still lurked, threatening to unravel everything. Elena's gaze hardened with determination. She would face this twisted fate, fight through the darkness and claim her destiny, even if it meant breaking every chain. Tension ignited as Elena confronted the pack's elders, their eyes sharp with suspicion and fear. "How can we trust a marked one tied to betrayal?" one elder challenged, voice like cracked stone. Elena's voice rang clear and fierce, "I am more than a mark, I am the future." The room thickened, with silence and shifting shadows. The Alpha King stood by her side, silent but unwavering. The fragile truce cracked beneath the weight of old grudges and hidden fears. Elena's mark flared bright, a fiery symbol of defiance and hope intertwined. This was not just a battle for acceptance but for survival, her own and the pack's. Night fell heavy as Elena retreated to the solitude of the forest's edge, her mind a battlefield of doubts and determination. The weight of truth was a crown she had not sought, but could not cast aside. The Alpha King's presence was near but distant, a silent sentinel guarding fragile hope. Her fingers grazed the glowing crescent on her neck, feeling the pulse of power and pain intertwine. "I will not be broken," she vowed to the night, eyes shining with fierce light. The pack's future, and her own, rested on choices forged in fire. As the moon rose full and bright, Elena embraced her fate, marked by betrayal but unyielding in will. The night air was thick with tension as Elena faced the shadowed figure of the true villain lurking within the pack. Her heart pounded fiercely, every instinct screaming danger, yet her resolve held firm. "You think you can control us all?" she spat, eyes blazing with defiance. The dark force sneered, "Power belongs to the ruthless, not the weak, marked by fate." Elena's voice dropped to a growl. "I am neither weak nor a pawn. I am the storm coming." Claws scraped against stone as the confrontation escalated, the pack's future hanging by a thread. The moon bore witness to a battle not just for survival, but for the soul of the pack itself. Elena lunged forward, every movement sharp and precise, channeling the power coursing through her veins. The clash of claws and teeth echoed, primal and raw. Pain flared, but so did adrenaline. She refused to fall. "This ends tonight," she declared, voice a mix of fury and determination. The Alpha King's fierce roar echoed behind her, lending strength. Thoris seemed to hold its breath, watching as fate unfolded beneath the full moon's unforgiving light. Every strike was a testament to Elena's growth, no longer prey, but predator. The battle was fierce, brutal, and unforgiving. Bloodied but unbowed, Elena found strength in the fire burning within. Each painful breath was a reminder of what she fought for: the pack, her freedom, her destiny. The villain's mask cracked, revealing desperation beneath cruelty. "You cannot win," he hissed, but Elena's eyes burned with unshakable will. "I don't just win, I rise." The forest around them pulsed with raw energy as the pack howled in unity behind her. The battle reached its crescendo, a symphony of power, pain, and the indomitable spirit of the marked Alpha Queen. The final blow landed with thunderous force, echoing through the silent forest. Elena's chest heaved, heart pounding with a mix of triumph and exhaustion. The villain crumpled, defeated, as the pack circled protectively around their new alpha. The Alpha King approached, pride shining in his golden eyes. "You have become what the moon marked you to be," he said softly. Elena met his gaze, her own fierce and unwavering. "I am no one's pawn. I am my own destiny." The night embraced them both, the promise of a new dawn stirring hope and fear alike. The battle was won, but the journey had only just begun. As dawn broke over the forest, Elena stood at the edge of the pack's lands, the first light casting golden hues on her glowing crescent. The weight of leadership settled on her shoulders, heavy, real, but embraced. She had fought betrayal, pain, and doubt, and emerged, marked not just by the moon but by her own fierce will. The Alpha King joined her silently, their gazes locked in mutual respect and unspoken promise. Elena whispered to the rising sun, "This is only the beginning." The future was uncertain, but hers to claim. The forest around them breathed with new life, a testament to survival and strength born in fire. The first light of dawn filtered softly through the towering trees, casting long shadows across the forest floor where Elena stood alone. Her glowing crescent mark pulsed gently, a steady heartbeat beneath her skin, though victorious doubt gnawed at her resolve. Could peace ever last when enemies lurked both within and without? The Alpha King's voice whispered in her memory, a reminder that power always came with sacrifice. She exhaled slowly, the crisp morning air filling her lungs. "I will protect this pack, no matter the cost," she vowed silently. Her eyes scanned the horizon, steeling for the battles yet to come. The pack gathered silently in the shadowed glade, their faces a mixture of hope and wariness. Elena's voice rang clear as she addressed them, her strength unwavering. "Our enemies will test us again, but we are united." The Alpha King stood beside her, a silent pillar of support. Wolves shifted uneasily as she spoke of impending dangers and the sacrifices necessary for survival. Yet beneath the tension, a spark of fierce loyalty ignited. Elena's glowing mark seemed to pulse brighter, a beacon to all who followed her. The pack howled in unison, a rallying cry echoing through the ancient forest, binding them as one. Night descended with a chilling howl, signaling the arrival of foes hungry for power and blood. Elena's muscles tensed, every sense alert and alive. The Alpha King moved beside her, his presence a steady anchor in the chaos. "We fight for every breath, every heartbeat," she declared, eyes burning with fierce determination. The pack surged forward, a wild storm of claws and teeth. The battle was brutal, relentless, testing the very limits of their strength and will. Elena's glowing crescent marked her as a beacon in the darkness, a warrior forged by fire and unyielding spirit. Blood and rain mixed on the forest floor as Elena fought through exhaustion and pain. Her breath came in ragged gasps, but her spirit blazed brighter than ever. The Alpha King's roar rang out, rallying the pack for one final push. "Hold the line!" Elena shouted, every word laced with raw power. The enemy faltered, sensing the unstoppable force before them. In that moment, Elena embraced her destiny fully, marked by the moon, chosen by the pack, and unbreakable. The clash ended with a thunderous silence, victory hard-earned and deeply felt. The dawn after battle brought quiet reflection and hard-won peace. Elena stood at the forest's edge, her mark glowing softly as she surveyed the lands she vowed to protect. The Alpha King joined her in silence, their bond deeper than words. "We have survived," he said softly. Elena nodded, eyes steady and fierce. "And we will thrive." The pack gathered behind them, a family forged in fire and shadow. As the sun rose higher, casting golden light over the healing forest, Elena embraced the future with unshakable will, marked, powerful, and free. The first whispers of dawn brushed against the horizon, casting a fragile light over the quiet forest. Elena stood at the edge of the clearing, her glowing crescent mark pulsing softly beneath the pale sky. The battles and betrayals of the past weeks weighed heavily on her heart, yet beneath it all stirred a quiet hope. The Alpha King approached, his gaze steady and unwavering. "This moment," he said softly, "is ours to shape." Elena met his eyes, the fierce fire within her reflecting the dawn's promise. The pack gathered silently behind them, their trust now a bond forged in shadow and flame. The future was uncertain, but it was theirs to claim. Elena's voice broke the stillness, carrying strength and quiet command. "We have fought shadows both within and without. Now we build anew." The Alpha King nodded, a rare softness touching his features. "Together, we are stronger than any force that seeks to break us." Wolves stirred and howled softly, a chorus of renewal and fierce loyalty. Elena's mark glowed steadily, a symbol of resilience and rebirth. The forest seemed to breathe with them, ancient roots grounding their resolve. Every breath taken was a step toward healing, a claim on the future forged by courage and unyielding will. The weight of leadership settled on Elena's shoulders, but it no longer crushed her spirit. With each sunrise, she found strength in the bond with the pack, in the fierce loyalty and shared scars. "We rise not as lone wolves, but as one," she whispered to the wind, feeling the ancient power surge within. The Alpha King stood close, a guardian and partner, their destinies intertwined. The forest around them whispered tales of survival and rebirth. Elena's mark shimmered bright, a beacon of light piercing the shadows. The journey had been brutal, but in this moment hope blossomed like the first flowers of spring. A sudden rustle stirred the stillness, drawing Elena's gaze to the horizon where a lone figure emerged. The pack tensed, but the Alpha King's hand found hers, steadying. The stranger's presence was a question yet to be answered, a reminder that peace was fragile and vigilance eternal. Elena's heart quickened, but her voice remained calm. "No matter what comes, we face it together." The pack shifted, their unity a shield forged in fire and loyalty. The moon lingered faint in the fading night sky, casting long shadows and silver light. The future remained unwritten, but Elena was ready to lead. As the first light bathed the forest in gold, Elena stood tall, the glowing crescent on her neck a testament to all she had endured. Her voice was a whisper carried on the breeze, one line that echoed through the trees and hearts of the pack. We are forever marked, forever free. The Alpha King's eyes met hers, reflecting the fierce pride and unbreakable bond between them. The pack howled once more, a sound that carried through the dawn, a promise of survival, strength, and love. The story was far from over, but in this moment, the world held its breath, and Elena's mark shone brightest of all.